I can stand right in front of the box of my teaching killers. Okay, I'll meet you there. Okay, bye. No, yeah. Sorry, give it to somebody. Boo. Hi, how are you? Can you help me? I'm so happy. What do you need help with? Open? Hold on. Not put it in. I'm good.
Well, look what's happening in Canada. How are you doing, guys? Looks like we caught you live, Smurfer girl. Good to have you here. So there's a trucker strike in Canada. It's huge. It was 70 kilometers long. Hi, lightning in the dark. Remote viewing. I like that. Hi. Do you have content?
Canada is built on independent liberties, and by God, we are going to.
So this is Odyssey, Rebel News. I've got them all up here, all the news feeds in Canada, the majors. We're taking a look at the truckers' strike. We've had some good news in this. We've had some bad news, but mostly good, guys. So this is going great for us so far. We've been smeared, but I don't think it's working. There's hundreds of thousands of people down here. The feeds keep getting cut because there's so many people down there live feeding, so many news agencies and people themselves. So they finally started coming into Ottawa, and Trudeau went on vacation. Sorry, quarantine. Now they've claimed that he's gone into isolation for safety's sake. So they changed up the story. But I'm going to show you guys around on our news. And Rebel News, they said some of the lights on the highway were, yes, they're trying to inhibit people from making their way to the capital. So, but that won't work. There's too many of us. There's too many people. So good to see you all. Who do we have here? We have Scotty Boy, Lightning in the Dark, remote viewing. I like the channel name. Smoking and G, how you doing? Let me turn this off for a moment. Just turn off the sound. B. Freeman, Conspiracy Daddy. Scotty Boy, B. Travis. Travis the Brick, sorry. Crystal Shaman, how you doing? Commercial Sound, how you doing? Good to see y'all. All right. So we're going to talk about the trucker strike today. Hey, Freedom Grower. But it will be more deadly. Everything's more deadly. So what kind of news have we had? We've had some fantastic news. Trudeau's in hiding, and we like that because that's his MO. We know he does this all the time. It's what his father used to do too. We've had some changes happen politically. One of our premiers, you can compare it to one of your governors. He is a punk. You're right, Smurfer girl. So yeah, we've had one of our premiers has come out and said, if the vaccine does not stop transmission, why are we doing this? This has made resonance throughout Canada. So that's halfway through Canada. The convoy's already made its way through there. So some common sense is coming through from this. people are now standing up. Finally, Canadians are something I can be proud of again. It was 2 years ago for me that I started protesting. I protested on my own for 2 months, and nobody joined me. Nobody honked. I protested again a year ago. I got a few honks. I got a few fingers. And now I can protest again. And I won't get the finger. I'll get more honks. But this isn't the end. This is just the beginning for us. We have simultaneously inspired truckers to strike in other countries. Australia, for sure. I'm not sure of others, but I have heard that there are others. Oh, thank you, Scotty Boy. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of us all. We all did this. From watching, we all did this from posting, from talking, from not relenting from this battle. We are winning. Once all the people realize what's going on, the battle will be pretty much done. And we can rest again.
We're doing a sound check. Sound check. We're doing a sound check.
Breathing fresh air was tough. First couple hours, you made it.
All right.
That is awesome.
We're gonna get this set up, and we're gonna have a freaking party.
This is excellent, my friends. I had 3 or 4 channels playing in the background all morning that were having live feeds, just pumping myself up for this. I'm just so excited. I'm so psyched. I know that there will be troubled times ahead, I'm sure, but this is the beginning. We can see the tide turning now, at least in Canada. Apparently truckers have joined in the States and Australia for sure, and apparently many other countries. I haven't gotten any confirmation on that. But let me show you guys around the news here. This is so beautiful to see. Unfortunately, this is going to take a little back and forth. As you can see on this channel, this is one of the major government feeds. Oh, they finally added the sound. They're showing the fringe areas of it. This is the outskirts. The people are actually just coming in. You can see them up at the top of the screen there. They're starting to filter in, and the trucks are coming in a different way that they're not showing, of course. But I'm surprised they put the sound on. Let's take a look at another feed. Freedom Rally coverage. Here we go. They ended, sorry. That one has ended. Screen. Live. There we go. This is just a beautiful sound. Cars and trucks honking. I could listen to this all freaking day. All day. I'm going to. I am absolutely going to. I think it's going to affect the supply chain majorly. You want to come up and have a chat, Freedom? Share the link for you. Oh, let me turn that off. It's completely in my ears here. Oh, no, that's not right. Freedom knows something a little bit about freedom. see where we are here. I'll turn down the volumes on these. I'm listening to them. That one's okay. So here's a good one to show you. This is the CBC News. This is kind of cool. What they do is they've got smear. They're the smear campaign. So I'll show you the smear campaign. Where's the CBC? So here they show the national protest convoy, security concerns, hero pay, CBC protest convoy, interest rates, protest rolls into Ottawa. So they're all concerns. Public safety minister discusses concerns, security concerns around protest convoy, concerns with extremist groups trying to take over a protest convoy. So we can see how they do it. On other ones, they say the same thing. Extremists. Get rid of CNBC. Had almost no coverage. That was amazing. They only have to go so far each time they do this. Yeah, that is true, Smurfer Girl. We have to finish this. Hi, Hippie Shake. We have to finish this. Once we start this, we can't let it go. We have to finish this. This story has to come to a conclusion. And I got all the news playing in my in the background here. Let me turn that off. Wow, it's a lot of noise. I'm going to listen to it all day, though. You can see the feeds are running by. I'll show you one. I'll keep one up. Live. Oh, we'll go with this one. So this is exciting news. So they've made it to Ottawa. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. You got the cooch running around. Oh, how CNN sucks. You're free to do exactly what they tell you. Do otherwise, yeah, you'll rock the boat. Hey, Mediyarv. It's a good start, but far from relaxed yet. Right, exactly. We got to keep it up, guys. We have to make sure that these people understand who our enemies are. We have the PPC party in Canada, led by Maxime Bernier. And if they hadn't cheated during the election, he probably would have gotten into Parliament, but they blocked him. He speaks out against the globalist agenda, these NGOs, all of these things. He would have gotten a seat, but unfortunately he was blocked. We know that with these voting machines that Justin Trudeau has learned his lessons from watching your politicians and Joe Biden, how he stole your election. What do you think of the future holds in regards to the supply chain? We are going to be suffering for a little bit, but it won't be that bad. It's really not going to be that bad, guys. The supply chain should be half decent because there's already Saskatchewan is pretty much not sounding like they're going to go along with it. So that opens up a route right there for truckers to go through. There are truckers that are vaccinated that are still can do international and go across the border. It's really mostly for the cross-border truckers. The truckers in Canada, although many are taking part, they're still working. So your food, our food and all that is still making it from ports and stuff. So it's not really stopping food. I wish we would be able to stop Amazon and people would boycott Walmart and, bring some sense back to our society, our economics. Yes, there are. Crystal Shaman actually has one. Could you post that, Crystal? I think it was you that had that. I'm already getting used to. Yeah, you've been smoking, and G has had bad supply chain issues for quite a while, and she's made do. Have never been sick, other than when my boy was an infant. So they're more concerned than I am. Just like a bad flu. Okay. Oh, didn't you post a healing frequency for COVID? I don't think you're supposed to use it unless you have COVID, though. Hippie Shake. My Z app has one, I think. You can check there. But by now they'll claim it's a different variant.
I've been waiting for this for 2 years. We've been waiting for somebody to make a stand we could all get behind.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So I'm excited, guys. I'm hoping this takes off, as it seems to have. There were people lining all the freeways, all the overpasses, in minus 11, to minus 20 temperatures, cheering on the truckers. And right now they're standing out there in the cold. It's really cold out here. It's like minus 10 to minus 15 where I am. I can't imagine the temperature in there. Let me check. So it's minus 13 in Ottawa. That's close to like minus, what would it be? About minus 8, I think, in Fahrenheit. So it's really damn cold. Keep active when I get sick. Yeah.
A little bit more challenged now as I cross the
Hi, Paula.
yard line.
Isn't this amazing? What do you think? What are you telling people?
This has been coming.
Oh,
this
okay.
has
Let
been-
me
we've
go
wanted
over
this
to
audience for a
YouTube
long
here.
time. Canadians have done all they've been asked to do.
Yeah, it's been a
And
long
put us
time
in a
since I
rabbit
looked at
hole.
that.
And this is
I
it.
don't think
We've got
there's
the science,
really
we've got
any
the
need for
compliance,
it,
and
but
that's over now. Because we know there's no end unless we say this ends.
I think
It
you'll
ends
make
now.
it
The
through.
people are speaking loud, and the coward in the
Myself.
cottage, he has to come out
Let's see,
and
where's
face it.
Crystal?
He's brought us to this point.
What do you think about Trudeau saying it's a fringe group?
Well, I'll tell you what, when he said that, it reminded me of Hillary Clinton's word calling about half the Donald Trump
There we
supporters
go.
deplorable. He has cemented and put a nail in his own coffin. We are not a fringe minority, and our views are not.
Yeah, they're calling us a fringe minority.
Right now. So
I don't know if that looks like a fringe minority to you.
I
I don't do Walmart either, B. Freeman. Yeah.
The people are never unacceptable, and viewpoints of Canadians count. That's why we elect people. We don't
They're amazing. UK are all following them. Nothing on the mainstream yet. That's funny. Yeah, that's hilarious. You can find them on the alternative news everywhere, right?
This isn't about healthcare mandates, mandate freedom. All of you back in Manitoba and watching live stream.
I like the fringe too. Look at this.
Trudeau wants it or not, and I'm sure he doesn't.
And he's taken off. Trudeau is gone. He's on vacation. He won't be back at work until Tuesday. So he's avoiding all this, which is fine because they're not even starting the speeches until Monday. This is just the beginning. This is the first day, and this is still kind of midday for them. There will still be people rolling in probably all weekend until Monday when they begin the actual protest. This is just a preamble, guys. This is not the protest. The protest is probably going to have music and dancing, and they're going to have speeches, and this is going to be awesome. So this is going to be an event, and they are going to stay until this is done. This is not a one-off thing. These people, they've been put out of work. They have support from the Canadian people, so they're going to stay the course. I'll be going to the store to pick up a prescription soon. Okay. So many of the dumbs are obliterated. That would be nice to know, B. Freeman. I don't worry, it could be a distraction, all of this, though, you know. Well, it could be a distraction, hippie shake, but it's it is quite a distraction, and it's actually changing things in Canada. So for a distraction, I'll take it. I'll take a few million people of a distraction. Canada's only 27 million people. If we get 1 million people out here, which we're getting, there's probably close to 100,000 at the moment. Maybe more. I don't know. I'm not a crowd counter. Prime Minister is the most mentally ill. Well, yeah, Boris Johnson. See, he said no more mandates, but you're all going to have a passport. Well, what is it? He's sucking and blowing at the same time. You know, hey Christian, how you doing? Good to see you. Right? So they want to suck and blow at the same time, you know? They're blowing smoke up your ass by saying there's no mandates, but then they want to put in this passport. Well, that was the end goal anyway. That's the reason for all the mandates. You know, so there can't be any deals. There can't be any giving. There can't be any relenting on anything. All of this has to go completely. Not one thing left. Not a passport, not a mandate, not a mask, nothing. That's the only way this can end. And we need to get rid of these NGOs. And we need to get rid of, well, our healthcare system is actually being reformed right before our eyes. A lot of nurses and doctors are leaving the healthcare system willingly and starting up private practices, doing home visits. The whole system is changing. And our government turning over is just going to be another part of it. We do have non-confidence vote in our government. So if enough of our premiers get on board, we can oust our prime minister within a few months. It wouldn't take very long. Canada has some pretty cutthroat laws on our prime ministers, so they can be implemented and that man can be just ousted. We can put in an interim prime minister or to take care of things until one can be elected, and that will end this tyranny. Like Justin said, if you don't want a tyrant for a leader, vote me out. But the very nature of tyrants, you can't vote them out because they cheat. So the only way to oust a tyrant is to oust them. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. And we need to do like some of the states are doing and reform our voting system. You know, make sure that these computer systems are taken out of the equation and put people in charge again. It's a laborious task, but there are people willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. I know everyone else there is. Hi, how you doing, Milky Way Soul Tribe? Good to see you, Robert. So the protest in Canada is moving along. I am just so proud of Canadians finally. Yes, his father gave us the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom, and he did it kicking and screaming. They dragged him to the table and made him sign it. He did not want to give us our freedoms. He didn't train his son to want to give us our freedoms. He sent his son to the Davos Training Academy. Justin Trudeau was taught under Klaus Schwab. He is one of those. And those people, all of those leaders, have been put in place now. It's not like we voted for him. He hasn't been voted in ever, I think. We've had these counting machines like you guys have had in the States, and they've used them. And our opposition party is the same as the opposition party in your country. We don't have an opposition party. The left and the right paradigm are the same, two sides of the same coin. We do have third parties that were winning. A friend of mine at work has a screenshot. They unfortunately were reporting the proper outcomes. And just like what happened, they shut down the voting, and the candidate lost because of increasing ballots coming in for other candidates. Hi, Pamela Jean. So our voting system is also fraught with injustice and cheating. So we need to get over that as well. But this is what's going on in Canada right now. There's a wave of change, and I'm really happy to see it. Same here in the UK. Right on. Yeah, we have to change that hippie shake. Oh, you're welcome, Pamela Jean. I looked in the news in the States and I saw virtually no coverage of it. I think there was something on MSNBC, but it was way down. Please share Rebel News, share this video, show people what's going on, because we know that they've got the media covered, that they're going to hide stuff as much as they can. So people need to know that there is a big movement going on. It's huge. And the internet keeps cacking out on them. Yeah, the Parliament buildings in Canada are old world buildings. They would be called in our community Tartarian. The Capitol building of Canada is absolutely beautiful. The Parliament building, the library, it's all old, what we would call Tartarian. Wow, that's amazing commercial sound and video, yeah. And I'm sure that's true, that most people haven't heard about what's going on. This is the biggest trucker convoy in history. In history. So this is a history. Yes, you're right. This is a history-making moment for Canada and the world, I hope. I hope this takes off, because this is not going to stop in Canada, so there will be plenty of coverage. They're going to go on until this is done, because they have nothing else to do. They were lucky and they were smart in the beginning. If they had taken the working man, the average factory and worker in Canada out of work in the beginning, this would have been the result right now. The same thing. But they were smart. They did it step by step, inch by inch. And people protested. It took them 3 tries to get the nurses to capitulate. The police still haven't capitulated. In Canada, the police are not on the side of the government for putting down the people. In Canada, the police are supporting the people. When the government said stop and question people where they're going during lockdowns, the police said, no, we will not do that. So in Canada, we had a bit of a leeway, a bit of an open door. They didn't have the Gestapo to stomp us down. So now this thing is possible. We were allowed the time for the people to see, inch by inch, to see the hiding of the truth, to see the people protesting. And it's had its effect. And now I think it's too late for the globalists, at least in Canada. And I'm so happy about it. I am so incredibly happy. After this, do you see how your leaders can share? I don't know. I don't know how he can, Pamela. Once upon a time, there was an investigative journalist. Yes. You got to be leery about putting your eggs all in one basket. Well, yeah, that's why we want more baskets, Travis. We're hoping that this takes off, that the rest of the world starts protesting as well. Yes, we've been on lockdown nonstop since the beginning. There has never been an open Canada. This is enough. They finally had enough. And it took a long time. It took a really long time. But I have some hope that this will have an effect. Because if people see this, they can't unsee it. Once seen, you know that there are people who agree with you. Hi, Three Fingers. Okay. Hi, Three Fingers. Good to see you here. Go Canada, right, Crystal Shaman? Governments will probably rewrite history and cover it up. If they can. Yes, if they can. Up until, yeah. But I'm hoping that Canada will stick to this. I know Canadians are hardy, strong people. We can put up with a lot. But I'm hoping, like most people I know in Canada, once you piss us off, once we've had enough, you're done. And I think this is the end for Justin. I think this is the end for people associated with Davos, associated with Schwab. I think this is the end for them, the beginning of the end. And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be trouble, that they're not going to haul out their deadliest weapons, that they're not going to haul out their most deadliest quote-unquote viruses, their most slippery operatives. We've already been primed for that because they've already said that, they've already claimed in the news. The convoy is being usurped by insurrectionists. They're trying to relate it to the January 6th walkthrough, that little picnic people had where the police invited them into the Capitol building in your country and let them sit at the desks while the police took photo ops with them. And then they all went to jail for 2 years or a year. They're hoping that this is their January 6th, that they can turn around and use. But there's too many people. Canada's not as big as the US. We're 1/10 your population. And this is not a fringe movement like they would like to frame it. There's Freedom Girl. Come on in, buddy. How you doing? Let's hope we can hear you. You're on mute. Who wear 3 masks? Yes, we still have them that wear their masks in the car. You're just on mute. I don't know why. Once it starts to fall worldwide, I hope. Yes, me too, Scotty boy. I'm really hoping. Martin Leake at 9 p.m. Need to feed the family. Oh, okay.
Yo.
There you go. I hear you.
Yeah, I just had to fix my my little interface here so I could hear you.
Awesome. I'm sorry, I want to keep that playing in the background. I'm really excited.
No, I'm watching it.
I want to see the people. I want to hear the horns. Oh, last night, all you heard from every news feed in Canada was truck horns, just blasting. People screaming and yelling. There were people had campfires set up by the highways. to support the truckers. They've raised $6 million for the truckers in Canada on GoFundMe, and GoFundMe suspended the account. They're holding on to the money to make sure that it gets distributed properly to the proper NGOs and stuff, right? So we'll see what happens with that. So, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
21 watching, 8 thumbs up. Everybody should hit the thumbs up right now. That's my first thought.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Hit
think
the
so.
thumbs up. I need a lighter that works. That's what I think.
Here,
Oh shit!
mine works. Here you go.
No, mine doesn't.
Okay,
Here,
well,
I'll be
make
right
sure you
back.
find one. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I've got other news about this too. They really are pushing the narrative of insurrections, of people trying to infiltrate, fringe groups infiltrating. Canada doesn't have any fringe groups. We don't have any white nationalist groups. We don't really have Antifa. These groups don't exist in Canada. So a fringe group infiltrating would be a couple of dudes, one, maybe. We really don't have them. Um, we have friends. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm just happy with you, brother. I mean, I have my reservations to
I do as
getting
well.
overly excited about this stuff because I've involved myself in protests, so I know that
Yep.
there's good things and bad things to it. But
see, now this happened as well. Hey, John Little, this happened in Australia about a year ago. The truckers did protest in Australia, and it was for nothing. They just hammered down on them. But like I said before, that in Australia they have the police on their side. The police are willing to rubber bullet little old ladies and beat them down in the streets. And in Canada, they're not. They don't have the support system. They have the RCMP, which is a small group of maybe 5,000. And if they call the military so far has declined all involvement, and except for helping out at hospitals.
I was curious what you thought about how this will affect supply chain.
It shouldn't be so bad. These are international truckers, so they're for cross-border from Canada to U.S. that have been mandated. The rest of the truckers are not affected by this. Many of them, like not all of our truckers are going to protest. There are thousands and thousands of them that are. Many have joined with them that have not been mandated. But our ports are still open. We'll still receive food that way. There are good food reserves in Canada. We do have a lot of food. Our shelves are still quite full. So our supply chain should still stumble along with feeding the people as long as they don't shut down the ports, which could be a move to take, right?
Mm-hmm. What would be their reason, though, to shut down the ports?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe another
attack?
Coochie virus or something,
I feel it in my bones, man. They're not done with the shenanigans. They're going to release some other type of bioweapon. They've seen the power that they can grab through tinkering with the creation, so to speak. And
yeah. Well, see, since Christmas Day, we've had on my ElectroSmart meter, I've had a reading of 72. Christmas Day, they hit us with 74. And on Boxing Day, they hit us with 74, which made a lot of people sick. And they've just continued on that path of running us at 72. But what happens eventually is people get cleansed out, and that stops having the effect they want.
Right.
So they're going to run out of cooch, at least by the electric means. They're going to still have the vaccinated that are getting sick all around us.
Of course.
I have a young man who just started working with me a few days ago, he was in the medical. He was working in the medical field, in the hospitals. He was a cleaner, and his wife was smart enough to know, okay, that the nurses had been mandated 3 times before they finally relented. His girlfriend was smart enough to know 1 week before he would be mandated to tell him to quit and go on leave and collect unemployment, go find a new job. And because he was seeing all these vaccinated people come in, getting sick.
To quit because he was being mandated, or just because she was saying get the hell out of there?
She was saying get the hell out of there because they were going to be mandated.
That's great.
She predicted it a week before it happened. So he took advantage of her advice, got out of there, and came and worked with us. You know,
Wow.
and he never got the jibby jab, and yeah. So
one of my customers that I do some work for found out that my family was sick, and because when I went to collect payment, I called her on the phone. I said, just in case, I don't want to, be irresponsible, whatever. I said, just leave the money in the window or whatever. And she didn't care. She came right out and talked to me. Yeah. And she said, I got to tell you, my daughter is a nurse.
There's Zoe. Hi, Zoe. Yeah.
My daughter's a nurse. And here, let's see. Is my test?
Yeah, you're doing good. You can turn it up a little bit more.
Yeah, there we go. My daughter's a nurse, and she won't take the jab. She hasn't been force mandated yet, but she basically black markets ivermectin. Now, I would never say who it is because I wouldn't give anything so people could make connections. But she's like, I have tons of ivermectin. I said, well, I already got it. But
nice.
It was interesting to hear a first-hand testimonial like that, where she herself had taken it when she contracted, or however, the 5 guys, whatever it is that causes this problem. Yep. But she said it instantly, like 24 hours, all the symptoms were gone. And she was so adamant about it. She's like, please, if you have anything progress, because you don't want to get pneumonia in your lungs or whatever. But I found it funny. She was saying her daughter would have to give patients this shit under the table because she just had a moral conscience. She didn't want them to die. So she's like, taking care of people outside of the system while working in the system. It's just an amazing world we're living in, man. I walked away from that conversation just going, my God, this is fucking insane. Like, this is the world I'm living in. This gal has to go give banned type of
you reminded me
with this stuff.
I have something to share with you guys. I'm going to put this in chat. Okay. This is a link to a place that is doing almost this is a preparedness medical company. So what they do is for people who are going out into the wilderness, they'll need things like antibiotics, and they'll need like numbing agents and things like Ivor or something. And you can go here, and because you might need that when you're out in the wild, so you need to be prepared, or you need to be prepared for emergencies. And these people will prescribe these things for you. Hint, hint. Yep. So go and check them out, guys.
Yep.
So yeah,
doesn't hurt to be prepared. Have what you need on hand.
Yeah, we need to be prepared for emergencies and for long, hauls in the woods and stuff. And yeah.
I mean, I'm not big on allopathic medicine, but there are certain things. If you have a bad infection, antibiotics will save your life. There's no question about it.
That is true. Yeah. People seem to think that unvaxxed people are not getting seriously ill at all.
It's the exact opposite.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, come on, Crystal.
Yeah, the jab are the ones that are having the long extended stays or dying in the hospital,
Well, yeah, that's what this is for entertainment purposes only. Anything here we say is not medical advice.
Exactly.
There we go.
Totally. But that's what this gal said that I do work for. She said that's what her daughter, the nurse, had been experiencing. Is it's all the people who are getting the pokes.
Yeah,
are really
that's
having the
exactly
problems.
the thing that the gentleman that started working with me was saying, that it was entirely the pokied that were coming in. He wasn't really seeing any unpokied people. So, yeah, like
The way they've
exclusive.
manipulated the message, lied to us,
And
it's just unconscionable.
and this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated in the mainstream news still. You know,
People are waking up, though.
Total distance. Oh yeah, the mainstream news, like even CNN, is down to about 100,000 viewers.
I had 8 or 9 conversations yesterday, and every single one of them was about the absurdity of all this. There's literally no one I can find in my community that actually does not have their light on as far as being able to see what shenanigans that are being pulled on the people right now.
Yeah.
People
And
are
the
awake.
news here is just so ridiculous. Like, they started off the trucker strike by saying, oh, it's about safety concerns and potholes.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's the biggest issue they have right now. Safety concerns and potholes.
Mm-hmm. We got to go fill all the potholes.
Yeah.
That'll save the world.
Well,
they do need to get busy, though, because they're so inefficient with their road work. They spend millions of dollars of taxpayer money, and then they can't fix the road. And they
Hi, Singe, man. Yeah, well, in Canada, what we like to do is we like to lay down a road, put
tear it up, relay another road, right?
We even do like cement underground, under the road, right? So for some roads, and then you put your hard top, your black top on that, right? But then you come along later and you tear that up because you got to put in water mains, right? And then you fix that all up and it's all patchy. Then you come along later and you got to put down electrical lines, so you tear it up again and put it down again. Then you come along again because you got to put in some cables. And,
That's what they do here. America's not much different than Canada, then.
Yep. Total waste of money. Total lack of good bureaucracy. They started up here. It's great. We had this project. It's a light transit, light rail that they want to run from one end of the city to the other. Just one line. Going to cost us like billions of dollars. They've started and stopped it, I think, well, at least once, right? So that way they spent all the money they had then, and then over the time they just dribbled and drabbed away the rest they had. So they're going to start it up again, so they need more money. Yeah, exact same thing. Hi, who is who? Left a link on your last. Oh, please like this video, guys. I don't know how many likes we've got.
I was just listening to this guy, Paul Cottrell. I don't know if you ever listened to him, but he's an MD, and he was talking. He lays it all out on the whiteboard, and exactly what's going on with this bioweaponry type stuff. And he has a strong conviction that what they're releasing next it'll be actually warranting the fear that everybody has had over this coup, because in general, 99.8% survival, it really hasn't been at all meriting anything they've done.
Well, Paula, or PSYOP, everything's a PSYOP there, believes it'll be monkeypox. I kind of think that's a good one. If they could modify monkeypox to be more deadly. Although monkeypox displays as the cooch, and it also displays as intense radiation poisoning as well. So it'll be. I think what they're going to do is they're going to up the ante, and finally hit that like 78 to 80 point, and just like burn your skin. Pox are blisters.
You mean with the Five Guys? You think they're going to turn that up, turn the frequency up?
I think they're going to. Well, I think they can do it with the Four Guys and fries too. I don't think they need the Five Guys.
They'll just start melting you.
Yeah, they haven't used 3 or 4 guys to their full extent. They've never really cranked it up. They've edged it up, but they've never cranked it up. If they crank it up, you'll get the exact. It'd be monkeypox everywhere.
I got this weird, surreal feeling about it all, where I feel like I'm channeling the mindset of my ancestors or something that went through battles and wars, because I don't fear any of it anymore, and I'm you know, bring it, just bring it, whatever you want to bring.
I'm
go
on
for it.
whatever happens, you know.
Really, I'm not going to be swayed by their fear tactics.
Yeah, as I was saying, I was protesting 2 years ago, and nobody honked, nobody paid any attention. I protested a year ago, and I got a few honks, I got a few fingers, you know, and I'm going to be protesting again. I know that this really doesn't end it, and I know that they're going to use the technology. They're going to use every trick they have. They may even full out probably take us to war. That's a possibility too. Just start, dropping rods of God on everyone, saying you're at war. They did it, and just start devastation,
I do the protesting more just to meet people. I don't think it's really that effective, but I do enjoy it's effective on a personal level to meet people that are like-minded.
It seemed to have changed the opinion of one of our premiers. He's
one
like
of your
a governor. One of our premiers. He's like a governor.
Oh, okay. That's what you call him there, a premier?
Yeah, premier of
what an interesting
Saskatchewan.
Name.
Yeah. So
now premiering. Anyway, it's a show. Yeah. It's the Ask Clown Gong show.
It is a show,
and premiering tonight.
Well, they're all in the party, right? They're all having a party.
Yeah.
Right? It's a party, and you're not invited.
That's funny.
Yeah. So he has said out in public, if the vaccines don't stop transmission, what good does this do?
Right. Wasn't that the whole point? They still say that if you Google, I Googled something about Ivar's soup, Ivar's clam chowder soup. And they said they had like answers about the COVID in there. And they said, you need to get jabbed because it will ensure that you don't transmit it to others and yada yada. They're still giving the same bullshit information on Google. It's like the main stuff that comes up. You guys should search it. It's ridiculous.
Oh. Yeah, well, they stick to everything. They don't give up. And
it's been completely debunked, totally disproven, and then they still told this absurd narrative of bullshit.
Well, Trump's still a Russian spy, too.
Well, he's running the White House from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Biden's actually in the metaverse.
See, he's got the football, so when he decides, he's just going to push that button and blow us all up.
Who does? Biden does? Sloppy Joe or
no,
Trump?
Apparently Trump took the football, the nuclear football.
That's right. Yeah, he took it out of there. He's running around with the nuclear football. Spiking it in the end zone.
Yeah, they do they find out who the provocateurs are pretty quickly, because these are the people that come into this rally with a mask on. Right? There's nobody wearing a mask in this rally at all. So they're not social distancing. I think it's very dangerous. They should all be in body condoms, eh?
It'd be a lot safer.
It'd be a lot
Either that
safer.
Or just stuck in there. They could protest in their pods in the metaverse.
Yeah, we could all have little pods. Yeah,
virtual protests.
Let's get into the metaverse, people. Right?
They should mandate that all protests be done in virtual pods for the safety of the people. No actual interaction. I really feel strongly about that. Something I've been meaning to say, and I'm glad you reminded me.
Sure thing, Hippie Shake. If you look at what was it, Toga, have you guys seen that Toga eruption? Tonga? What was it? Tonga?
No. Did they have a big volcano?
Yeah, that seems to be, they sent in some type of a weapon to do that. And Hippie Shake is telling me not to talk about rods of gods as I manifest them. But the video's already out there, so I don't know what it is. It could be some type of a ballistic missile, or it could be like a rod of God, like a lot of people think. There's no radiation involved with the eruption, so I suspect a rod of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
I'm not manifesting anything when it comes to their nefarious plans, just because they
No,
talk about the agendas and the things they've laid out.
they've already done it, so it's just
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm not going to be culpable or
I'm
responsible
just
for
no. I'm not
decisions
responsible
to harm
for somebody
humanity.
else creating plastics. I didn't make plastics.
Right.
I did. Did you know I did not create this disposable society? Therefore, I shouldn't be responsible for it.
You mean you're not in consent with these
I
absurd
didn't.
type of ideas?
Yeah, I did not start up a company that made plastic cars and stuff that pollutes the planet.
Yeah. When you were a baby and you came out of your mother's womb, you didn't say, "Oh, I want to be governed of my mental and have a social security number and have to run around with the Ass Clown Gong Show and vote with Dominion voting machines." Tailoring my.
I don't remember doing that.
Yeah.
No.
I want to have my beingness partitioned out, so I'm only a fractal of what I'm actually representing. So when I vote, I'm 0.4 of a vote or 0.
Yeah.
It's amazing. No, it's it's not an at will. It's not a win-win situation.
No, we weren't. We didn't put ourselves in this situation at all. We're not culpable for any of it. Not a thing. Like, it's ridiculous to assume that we have to pay for this in carbon tax and cleanup, while these billionaires and oligarchs create these companies that pollute, press on us the need because of no choice for their products, and then say that we were bad for choosing the product we had no choice but to take.
Yeah, Max.
How does that make sense?
When I was in the corporate world,
yeah,
one of the things that I would do whenever I made a contract with a customer or we entered in a business relationship, we shook hands. Anytime I always said, I always reserve the right to walk away from anything that we're doing if it's not a win-win situation. Meaning if people have to lose at the table, because that's not how business has to operate to me. We can all conduct ourselves appropriately so that we're working for each other's benefit in a way where nobody has to lose their dignity. Nobody has to walk away from the deal feeling like, man, I got fucked, you screwed me. I said, if it ever gets that way, I said, count me out. I'll just walk away. So I give that disclaimer up front. And if I was a baby all over again, came out of the womb, that's why I said, hey, by the way, everybody in the room, just so you know, I reserve the right to walk away from any bullshit you have here. The moment it's not a win-win.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the way politics should be too.
Totally.
It shouldn't be people losing their rights or losing their land or it should be win-win, and
100%.
And it could be that way, without what we need really is we could take control of this technology and use it for good. Instead of having these politicians, we could just have administrators. We don't need politicians for anything, really. We need a couple of administrators to take care of things.
Yeah, we don't need to be represented. We can represent ourselves just fine.
We've tried being represented, and it doesn't seem to work. They're not representing anybody but themselves, unfortunately. So, yeah, this whole representation thing isn't working.
Individual liberties are where it's at, and when you're individual, unique, the way the Most High made you, then you can't be bound because that's the creative spirit. It is random in nature. It is something that's a mystery. And
we kind of have it in a way. Like we have different cultural provinces in Canada, right? So you do it that way. You let people run their lives in their own cultural manner, and you leave everybody else alone.
Or it should be that way.
Those that want to group together for the same, cultural mannerisms of freedoms or liberties can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Should be that way.
Hey, but I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go check my my boy real quick. Make sure he's doing all right. He's just laying down and sleeping. He's been sleeping all day.
That'll give me a chance to check the chat here.
You bet.
We reserve our rights. Right on. Hi, Singe Man. Good to see you.
And they know it.
I have informed contempt. I like that, Matty Yarp. Let's see what you guys have been talking about. Sprinkles, Zoe. Sounds like a good way to make a lot of money. Yeah, they have a lot of good ways to make a lot of money. UK not as cold as Canada. That's cool. Yeah, it is. It gets cold here, buddy.
There's an agenda. They have an agenda. It's not about
Let's
COVID.
see. Harp. Yeah, harp could be used. I think harp has been used. I think harp was used. See, they have treaties with harp not to use them on other countries, not to use weather weapons. Hey, Trey. What's that? Babbleland, Ottawa. Are you in Canada, Trey? I think. You're in West Wales, Hippie Shake? Nice. Crystal Parable. I see the East Melanie. You think harp is being used, Pamela G? The sprinkles weren't even my idea. Okay, Zoe. There, that gentleman there is Maxime Bernier. He wants to get us out of all of these NGOs, all of these non-government organizations. He wants small government. He wants to reform, basically get us out of all of this. No mandates. That's the gentleman I was saying. He was winning the election, but then the polls closed, and of course, come the morning, he lost. So, where have we seen that? Yeah, so that happened here as well. Justin Trudeau learned his lessons from watching Biden and used the voting machines to his advantage. So, yeah, we're going to have to reform the election process. But yeah, getting out of all these NGOs, disassociating with the UN, all of it, just gone. Canada needs to be autonomous. We need to operate on our own with our partners like the US and the UK, and, just as partners, not in some huge conglomeration of insanity,
Conspiracies in Nashville and doesn't have to wear a face diaper. I couldn't imagine being in the humidity, because I used to go to Nashville and we'd go to trade shows, and I'd have to put a suit on. And by the time you walked out of the hotel to go to the trade center, you were just melting in sweat. And then you'd go in an air conditioned room, and then you'd have hypothermia. So then if you tied a mask in with that, where you're just stuck in that humidity, the moisture, it's like you're trying to kill people. Just with the muzzle. That's enough.
Exactly.
Have you ever been in an environment like that, Max, where you can cut the air, it's so thick with moisture?
Yes, I have. Sorry, guys, I had to eat something there. What was I going to say? Yeah,
when you've been in an environment with moisture.
Yeah, Canada's been on lockdown pretty much. Like, we've never had the freedom to go into restaurants, go on public places without a mask. And our restaurants have always been on at least limited capacity or no capacity for 2 years. So Canada has really been the poster child for the New World Order. So this is why this is so exciting for me to finally see, because it's been 2 years of pretty much flatline as far as protests goes. Little ones pop up here and there, a couple of hundred people maybe, but we've never had anything this big.
Hey, B. Freeman is curious about body condoms. You can buy them on freedomgrower.com. I sell them there. I also have Sourdough Coin. It's a new crypto that I'm launching here. You guys can all buy into that. Has no value, but it's like all crypto. So.
Yeah, and at this point, even the mainstream news and all that, they are covering this as well. They had no choice. They tried for the cover up of the the few little cover ups that I told you about, potholes and stuff. Don't pay attention here. This is nothing. So now they haven't been able to ignore it. So they are broadcasting what's going on. And as I said, this is just the beginning of it. This is just the start. The protest doesn't actually start till Monday. That's when all the speeches are planned for. These are impromptu speeches that people are doing just on their own. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited, though. I am excited for the first time.
You should go speak there, Max.
There's much more. There's much more important people who have influence that could speak than me.
I disagree.
And
I
there's
think
a lot
they
of
keep
people
like
ideas.
us on the sidelines. They put us in the corners and in the dark places of the interwebs because they don't want us to be heard, man. Everybody needs to hear Max's vision.
That is actually true. We are the fringes of society, and that is actually where the changes in society come from. They don't come from the mainstream. They come from the fringes.
Yep.
And
I think in some ways we're actually we're viewed a lot more than they tell us, even if not through the opposition.
Yeah, I think so. That could be possible for sure. KFC got some truth. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Who's KFC?
Kentucky fucking chicken.
Okay, I don't know.
They had to rebrand it because nobody wanted fried Kentucky Fried back in the day.
Oh, okay.
So they rebranded it KFC.
Yeah, I used to call it Greasy Bird in a Box. I used to work for Kentucky Fried Chicken. I was a cook. Dead bird in a bucket,
Yeah, it's Kentucky Anunnaki GMO fried chicken.
Yeah.
They should change it to
okay,
Canafuck. Kentucky Anunnaki GMO fried chicken. That didn't work. But the wings are the thing that freaks me out about Kentucky Fried Chicken. You buy a 6-pack of wings. I'm thinking, doesn't a chicken only have 2 wings? So that I'm killing 3 chickens for my $2.99 chicken wing pack.
Yeah, that's efficient, right?
I'm just going, where the hell are they getting all the chickens? You mean I had to kill 3 chickens for this fucking $2.99 pack? That's when I know they're not killing chickens. They're growing them in petri dishes. That's Soylent food, man. It's not even real.
Well, they've been really trying to mess with the food supply tier, but as I say, it's not really working. They did dump thousands and thousands of chickens. They shut down one of our major poultry producers for a bit.
For what? Like it had bird flu or something?
I guess something like that. I don't know. They had to dump a bunch of chickens.
That's
so
normal.
There was truckloads of chickens just being dumped. So
they got the coof. The chickens got the wiggle. They got to stick them all. See, they still gas chamber the chickens. Mm-hmm. That's the difference between us humans. They treat us better by giving us pandemics.
Yeah, we were told before this started, though, to go out and buy some supplies, get some extra food. Even the Truckers Association told people, just get some extra, you'll be fine.
They must like the chickens more, though, Max, because they're much more humanitarian. They just gas them out. It's a quick.
Well, we've been eating chickens since Adam, right? Because dinosaurs are just big chickens, right? Those legs.
They're a reptile. Yeah, they're a dinosaur, really.
Yeah.
Dino chicken.
So they've always been eaten. I think that's their role. I don't know.
Always been what?
That's their role. I think they've always been eaten.
They were there for food.
Yeah,
when you look at one, you're like, damn, you look like a chicken sandwich.
Well, you look at that leg, man. Look at the leg on that T-Rex. Couldn't you imagine?
I don't know. They're kind of a nasty bird, though, actually. It does look like a T-Rex. I hear where you're going with that.
Yeah.
But chickens, I have chickens, and the more I own them, the less I want to eat them, actually. The more I think.
Well, yeah, then they become like friends or something, right?
They're great friends, man. They're loving animals, but when you see how they live, I mean, they just shit all over themselves.
Oh, yeah.
You got to constantly clean up their mess. They can't do anything for themselves other than be eaten. Imagine a chicken out in nature. I mean, it's gone in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah. They're not really for that. No.
Is there even such thing as a wild chicken? There's no wild chicken, right? Now I'm going to show my ignorance. There's no.
No, I don't think so. I really don't. I don't know of any wild chickens.
I'm going to go hunt some wild
Okay,
chickens
hold
today,
on,
honey.
hold on. Now you got
She
me.
knows you're bullshit for sure when you give that line.
Now you got me. Wild chickens. I know there's wild turkeys, but are turkeys
Oh yeah, I got
like
wild turkeys. Wild turkeys roam around my backyard all the time. Thanksgiving
Wild
dinner right
chicken.
there when the grid goes down. Wild chickens in the jungle.
feral chickens are derived from domestic chickens. Are there any wild chickens?
Oh, so feral is a domesticated chicken that went back into the wild, huh?
Wild chickens do exist, but they're not the same as domestic chickens that we
I would
know.
gather not, yeah.
They are called jungle fowl and are truly wild, having been okay, so they're called jungle fowl and they're nothing like, no, they look more like peacocks. No, not like female peacocks. No, they don't have much color. They're smaller.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're brownish, just brown, so that they have good camouflage. I wonder if like they say dinosaurs were like covered with colorful feathers as well. I wonder if they were bred that way as well.
Yeah, I bet you they can fly too. You know,
Who?
I mean, like chickens can fly too, but not
just
very
a short
well.
distance. Just a short distance, right?
I bet these ones you're talking about, these wild ones, I bet you they can fly further.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. They do look
they
like
gotta
a ground,
have that feature for, you know, that's how.
and they look more like a ground bird. They have longer legs, so they can run a lot faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, just better made for survival.
Same with like a turkey. That's the only way it can survive on the ground is they're so fast and they're a more intimidating bird. Like you don't want a wild turkey to attack you. That's not.
Yeah, they scare the hell out of you when they, like, even geese. You know, when they put up their wings, they
suck.
That's terrifying.
I hate geese.
Yeah, and they can break your arm.
That's a strong word to use. Yeah, geese
can break your arm with that sucker. Their wings are powerful.
I got post-traumatic stress syndrome from that shit. Going to the lake and having the geese chase me around as a kid.
Yeah,
I just wanted to feed the ducks some bread,
once.
You know.
Up here though, we're not afraid of the geese. The geese get fed all the time, so they're pretty tame, right? One
they
time
are here in Colorado too, actually.
Yeah, me and my wife went down to feed the geese. We brought a loaf of bread, and there was probably about 500 to 1,000 of them, and it was raining, so they were all under this awning, this public awning, and it was like 20 feet wide by 40 feet long, and there was hundreds of these birds under there, and I just started chucking the bread, and they were staying away at first, but eventually we just sat there and didn't move very much and kept throwing the bread down, and they came right up. They were all milling around our feet, and I just reached down and started stroking one of them with my hand.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's like the deer are here.
Yeah.
They'll just come right up to you. People feed them around here.
Yeah.
So they're used to human interaction.
Plus, you know, if we're not allowed to, if you kill one of those, you'll go to jail. But there's a plentiful food source right at hand, at least for the first while until the geese catch on, right?
Yeah.
Because they will catch on eventually. Yeah.
Sure.
After the first few, they'll start to get a little leery.
I agree, Pamela Jean. It's better to eat happy rather than depressed chickens.
Mm-hmm. That is true. You know, and there's like, there's a lot of people will eat their chickens, but at the end of their life, like, you know, when they finally look like they're about to die and they're not doing so well, they do have to be stewed, right?
Yep.
Because they're older. But you know, that's just an efficient use of an older chicken, you know.
Chicken broth and make some fried rice.
Yeah, and you know, the taste is good. They're very delicious. So yeah, that's I don't know. To me, that's a pretty acceptable life for a chicken. You know, let it go until it's just about at the end of its life, and then stew them up. You know,
they taste like chicken, B. Freeman.
What do?
Penguins. Says what do
Penguins?
penguins taste like?
Everything tastes like chicken, right?
It's the coined answer. I had to say it.
Do
They're
people?
doing that here. Smoking is smoking in Canada. Smoking G Sharp.
No, she's in Portland.
Oh yeah, well they're doing it all over the country.
Oh,
the
you're
US, pushing the
Portland's.
fake burgers.
Yeah. Oh, Portland's a great place. Apparently, they can't get food there. They can't. It's wonderful. You can't go out at night. Or you'll get robbed or stabbed, or you know. Uh, you can call the police, but I don't know if that'll do any good.
Wonderful place to raise a family.
Yeah. I don't know why, but she's trying to leave there.
Homeless situation in Portland is just insane. I mean, it's like the majority of the population. They just don't get any representation. There's probably more homeless there than there are non-homeless, but they don't get any representation.
Yeah. Okay, we're having speeches right on. Didn't expect those till Monday.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the man who's made the sound system possible today. He's got a message for you.
The sound guy, right on.
If you want your freedom, you
gotta listen to the sound guy.
I've been following him for 10 years.
I'd like to introduce Dr. Fauci.
Put your hands together for the leader of the New Blue Party of Ontario, Jim Karahalios.
Oh, I've never heard of this guy.
Is Rob Stocky not the best? Is this guy not awesome?
So we have in Canada, we have the PPC, the People's Party of Canada.
Parliament in Ontario.
This will be another shill
What do you guys?
Party. They're trying to take over.
Survey says
we have the Liberals and the Conservatives, and a couple other parties like the Green and the PPC. They're actually called the Purple Party. That's actually, I did vote last time because he's against the NGOs and all these people that were trained in these non-government organizations to lead us, and wants independent people, real Canadians who aren't involved with this international cabal to be in politics, hence smaller government, right? So. Oh, let's see. Yeah, they're mad. I don't think they're liking him too much. I'll have to see what he says.
People are done with politicians, man. They're like, this whole representing me thing is not working.
No, it isn't. No, we're not being represented. And that has to do a lot with, I think, with the technology too, because it's happening even from the lowest levels, right? We have like gerrymandering like you guys do, where they switch around the districts, make them different shapes, and you end up with a district that goes around in a horseshoe zigzag pattern so that they can get all the candidates they want into that district.
Oh, it's messed up.
So that
working
whole thing,
the geography for their political angle.
Like if it were one person, one vote, like the PPC got 3%. I think it was 5 to 8% of the Canadian vote per person, but per riding they didn't get anything. And like this Green Party that got less votes than them got a riding because they're in with the riding system, right? So they got a seat in Parliament so that their voice will be heard. But somehow the PPC, who got the Green Party got less than 1% of the vote, and the PPC party got like 5 to 8%, but no representation. So
yeah,
the whole way they do it, it's got to be like, if you're going to do a voting system, you got to have one person, one vote.
Well, a wise man once said, Max, that you can't. The tyrants will tell you, if you don't like tyrants, vote them out.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
what
can't
Justin
vote
said.
them out because they cheat.
That's right. That's exactly what Justin said.
I was repeating what you said earlier.
Yeah,
I thought you said that.
Oh, I did, but actually our prime minister said that if you don't want to have a tyrant for a leader, then vote me out.
But you can't because they cheat.
Yeah, exactly.
They're a bunch of cheaters. So they'll put a Dominion voting machine in. They'll put a fucking rigged.
And somebody from your country said voting is just mob rule, really, and it is in a way.
I look at it as just going through the motions of the Ass Clown Gong Show. It's like, here's your role.
Well,
You're
say
a hamster,
it actually
run on this wheel.
Say it actually had an effect, like it actually made a difference who you voted.
Oh yeah,
for.
Well, that'd be.
That would be totally different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Gee, you can't vote a criminal out. How do you do that? He's going to do criminal activity to stay there.
But I'm even not as much for voting these days as if you have a set of standards that are based off individual liberty, then there's nothing to vote on. You don't need government to do anything for your ass.
Yeah.
You just
government
just needs to get the fuck out of the way.
We do have a non-confidence vote that can be implemented.
Yeah,
where our government can be just ousted before their term is up.
So tell us why
if we don't have it. If we don't have it,
don't use it, huh?
No, but it's being talked about now. So at least,
but if they do use it, will they be represented in a fraudulent voting process? I mean, they'll say it was 30% when it was 50%. You see what I'm saying?
That's the thing we have to concern ourselves with next, right?
Yeah. Oh, you guys just missed it again. You were so close.
We
only had 49% of the people who said no confidence. So sorry, you get another Ass Clown Gong Show puppeteer here for you.
Well, that actually happens on a parliamentary level. If our MPs have to do our members of parliament. They're supposed to represent the people.
Oh God!
But
it's like delegates in our country or whatever.
Exactly.
That's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It's a wonderful sensation to see.
No, and I don't know if shutting down the country is going to work. This isn't really going to shut down the country, but hopefully it'll make enough of a pain in the ass and enough of an impact that people notice it,
Yeah,
and at least notice, what's going on, and start taking a look back and thinking about what happened in the past, and remembering the lies they were told, and remembering and not just looking at where we are now after they complied, after they said yes, we'll go along, we'll do what you say, and all the information coming out from the other side that they haven't been shown or seen. I'm hoping they'll take a look at that.
Let me just say, you seem much more like a civil rights hero than a fascist to me. Are any media in
so this is my hope.
Old Trucker. Look, he says Trucker joins us from the U.S. from the Freedom Convoy.
Maybe Rebel News is putting out some positive stuff about the movement, but the mainline.
So it is making Fox News. That's interesting. I saw a little small article on CNBC. One of yours, anyways. Thank you, Teresa. I'm really happy about it. This was pretty much scenes on the way. Canadians were lining the overpasses and the sides of the highways. A lot of them had campfires, and they were total events. So. And our news is actually showing this. So and if it goes on long enough, everybody will see it eventually.
Descend into this darkness.
How do you think they're going to try to put an end to this whole thing?
Is really
provocateurs could be a way.
Good luck.
They got to be thinking that right now. How do we wrap this up?
Yeah.
Nip this in the bud.
Exactly. Yeah. And there are other groups joining, apparently, and that's what they're going to, I think, use as provocateurs, is other, quote, fringe groups, extremists, and other nefarious people joining in the movement that they're going to say probably cause trouble. But we know we have various levels of policing in Canada. We have the RCMP. They're right underneath Justin's control. They've even gone and hindered other political candidates from running and other things, hindered their movement. They have CSIS, our Secret Service, that they're quite secretive. Nobody knows anything that they do, but they do quite a lot. We have military intelligence that has used this pandemic as an unprecedented opportunity to practice propaganda on the people. So, yeah. And then we have, of course, the regular police force. So, yeah, many levels of policing that can be implemented. But our police, our low-level police force, those working on the ground with the people, aren't really on board. So they have to go to a different level, either military or RCMP or CSIS. So they used the RCMP to throw rocks at Justin and say that was somebody doing something. I'll turn this down here.
I don't know. I get a vibe of it all being kind of a show. I really do.
There's all a show.
Something about it. Yeah, it just seems like it
is all a show.
Because with everything we've been through, the fact that something like this hasn't happened already is kind of mind-blowing. But of course, you would expect what Canada's gone through.
Culturally, Canadians are very trusting people.
Yeah,
we trust our government. And it's gotten to that point. They're not finally. They can, But once they see, it's like us. Once we saw the truth, could you look back?
No.
You
could look back, but you weren't going back.
I think it'll be the same with people in Canada. Once this is in their face enough, and there will be shortages, but it won't be enough for starvation. But you won't be able to get your favorite things. You might not be able to get as fresh food and produce as you could, because all of our fresh produce comes pretty much from you guys.
Yeah. But what's up with all the paint on the haystacks? I mean, those are $400 a stack. So you're telling me they just took $10,000 of hay?
Well, that would be reused. You'd reuse that.
It's got paint all on the side. What horse has to eat that now?
Yeah, we use it for insulation up here.
I want the cow with the. It looked like it was feed hay, though. That didn't look like insulation
when we go.
hay.
Yeah, when we go camping, we take. I don't know. That could be. Yeah, I'm sure that there's.
Take the outer layer.
There's going to be some people throwing some money in this. Like they raised $6 million on GoFundMe, but that's been suspended. We'll see how that goes. But they're being fed along the way, so by just average Canadians. Somebody really has to dig in and see if big money is making its way in. These are a lot of independent restaurants that are donating right now, and people. So it is grassroots at the moment. We'll see how long it stays that way. Because it seemed to be kind of an organic response to the mandates coming up.
See, now to me, that's how they'd take it over. If it's organic in nature, the big money will come in to manipulate the message, sway the tide, create some comfort.
Thing is, the bonus is that our news organization, our alternative news organizations that are headlining this, they're aware of that. Like the people are aware of that, that are at these things, that there is a good possibility of provocateurs, and they're on, like it's happened in the States where the provocateurs have been called out, and it'll happen here too. And Canadians, we don't like watching things get destroyed, so that's not really going to be happening. We're a little more take control of the situation than just letting things happen. So they're not going to be tearing down shit. They're not going to be burning shit. There hasn't been one incident in 2 to 3 days of this that has involved any protesters and the police. It's incident free so far. I believe the only incidents that will happen will be from provocateurs. Absolutely.
Sure, beautiful land you guys live in, though. Just all the pictures of how beautiful Canada
there is. A lot of greenery in Canada. It is a very green country. Right beside me, there's greenery. I could show you guys. We have marshland running right down to the lake. And right beside me, there's a marsh. There's a porcupine over there of a building.
Awesome.
But yeah, we do have quite a bit of land. Every city that is built has to maintain 5% parkland or free land. It's just in the laws, really. So
Mandate
it's pretty
freedom.
good. That's a good one. John, what do you think about the caps? They'll have to pry my beliefs from my dying hands before they change me. Good. Yeah, you stick to your beliefs.
Well, brother, I got to jump off here. I just wanted to come on real quick and say hi.
Thank you very much. That's
You bet.
really, I just wanted to get some thoughts on that from people and show you guys what's going on, because I don't think it's being shown in the U.S. as much as it should be and other countries. So maybe you could share this out, guys. And
share it on
yeah,
out.
thank you very much for showing up.
Cheers, everybody in the chat. Much love.
All
right, brother. I'm heading out.
All right. Thanks.
Great talking with you
again. Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's really awesome. That's Laura Lynn Thompson. She also speaks out against NGOs and all of the globalist agenda. She's running for politics. She's one of our politicians that got kicked out of her caucus, her party, for not taking the jab. She's been on hydroxychloroquine, I think, or ivermectin for years for lupus. So she knew right from the beginning that this was all a hoax. So yeah, we're hoping that this will take off, guys. Grassroots needed to happen, right? Right, B. Freeman. Does the Queen support the jab? I don't know. The truckers were able to get over $6 million, Paula. Right now it's on hold by GoFundMe. That's something I've heard too, B. Freeman. Oh, thanks, Melanie. Good to see you here. Again, there will be class tonight around 10 or 11 o'clock. I'll do it pre-hand, so hopefully the notifications will go out. Down, lizard. All right, much love to you all. This is a great time to end it. So please share, please like and share this video. Show people that there is change going on. Again, one of our premiers has admitted that the vaccine does not stop transmission. So why are we doing this? So let's hope that movement continues. I'm going to be listening all day on Odyssey on Laura Lynn. I'll post a link for you guys so that you can follow. Oops. No, hold on. I lost that there. Let me go back to that. So let's hope that this is contagious, guys. Let's hope it's a movement that continues and that people start helping each other. Excellent. Thank you, Teresa. So thank you all for showing up. Much love until tonight. Bye-bye. Keep that third eye open.